And good morning. We've all made it to Friday. And now I notice I've got a crooked picture. It'll be all right. We'll get it straightened out before the next show begins at 8. Glad to have you. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we begin this, the weekend is coming. Be prepared. There is rain on the way this weekend. We'll give you the breakdown of the weather, of when the worst will be and all that, so you can plan your activities as to the best that you can. I wanted to bring this up. This is a good gesture, a good deed in the community. As we pull this up, I'm going to run down later on this afternoon. We'll be speaking with them after 8 also to get all the details on this. But Lauderdale County Schools will be having their Sleep in Heavenly Peace bunk bed build today. That's going to be happening out at Northeast High School. We'll tell you more about it. The kids are going to help out. That's good. There's a lot of kids in our community that is we all have or most everyone has a nice bed to lay in. There are kids that do not have those. And this program helps get children a bed. And it is a great thing. People that just can't afford anymore, they've done all they can. They build bunk beds here locally. It's a great cause. It was a national chain that started this, and now it's on a local level supplying to people here. I'm impressed by it. I'm glad that they're doing it. Hope you can help out with that as well when it comes to it. I've seen a lot of churches do this. It's a great, great community thing. So we'll talk more about that this morning with Lauderdale County as we learn more about what the school is doing. As we said, Friday is here. Glad to have you here. Candace will be in at 8 this morning to give us a rundown of all the events and things that are going on in the community. As we begin today, we'll start with a few of the things that we know that have gone on over the last 24 hours since we last met up. As we begin, there was a yesterday afternoon, Highway 39. Well, it was 2 crashes. It was almost that you couldn't get down 39 there for a little bit because of the wrecks. As we pull this up, our first one was here near EMEPA. As we look at this, this was right there by the entrance. Someone pulled out. Here's a bird's eye view from back here. A little accident there that held up traffic. And then right up the road at the red light there where you would turn to go into Walmart, another little fender bender happened. So it was one bump after another. I think everybody is okay, but still had a little fender bender there. Caused a little delay in traffic there for a moment. And I haven't gotten word back on this, but we pass along prayers for the family of this situation as someone was hit by a train yesterday afternoon. This was at Hawkins Crossing, a train versus a pedestrian. Now you've probably been across these train tracks several times in your life. As we look at this, here's a different look at it. If you want to look at it on a map, Hawkins Crossing here, this would run you over to Highway 11. This would be back over this way, Old 45 to your west. That happened yesterday afternoon. The last report that I had, the gentleman had head injury and was taken to a hospital. We saw several comments on there from family members. And again, we do pass along prayers to that family. Awful thing to be hit by a train, and we do hope they recover quickly and are well on their way to recovery. That's what we hope. This is a big deal. As we look to this, there were so many concerned Mississippians when this went down. Who remembers Buddy, our little friend? Let's show him here. Buddy the dog, who has become quite the celebrity in the state of Mississippi. There he is at the U.S. Capitol yesterday. Why is Buddy there? Well, it went into law. It was the Buddy Law. It was signed into law by Tate Reeves yesterday, and it's for a mental evaluation upon any child that does harm to a pet. We hope this will curb things and help things in the state of Mississippi. Buddy has had quite the recovery, loved by so many people in the state of Mississippi. He's a friendly dog, and we definitely don't want this to ever happen to another pet in the state again. There was absolutely nothing done, if you remember back on this. I think in the beginning they wanted the law to go a step further. This is what they've got at this point. It's a step in the right direction where they would be evaluated if an animal is hurt like that. Was there gunfire last night? I only got one report last night of gunfire in the area. No one was hurt by this, but we still had it reported. Magnolia Court Apartments is about where this happened. As we look at a map, let's pull this up where you can see. Again, no one was hurt. There was no injury reported there, but if we'll back this out and take a look here, here's Magnolia Cemetery. This is going to be 24th or 493, however you want to word that, and this would be east of there, over toward the Velma Young Community Center in this area right here, right there. 1801 24th Avenue is where shots were reported being heard last night. And again, no one was hurt. Doesn't change the fact that it was still gunfire. A lot of shoplifting and misdemeanors that went on overnight. No one seriously hurt. No major crimes that I'm aware of at this point during the daytime. We always check with the Meridian Police Department as the day begins. Sometimes you find out people don't realize what happened overnight. We'll watch this and we'll update you as all this begins today. Again, we'll have another show be coming up at 8 o'clock. Hope you'll do that. As we look around Jackson County, Mississippi, horrible, number one, that someone would leave the scene of an accident. We've heard of it happening here. I think it happened here not long ago. Somebody bumped a bicycle and kept going. Well, this one turned out a little bit worse. It became fatal in Jackson County, Mississippi, as an 18-year-old was arrested. Bradley Austin Lee of Pascagoula was arrested for leaving the scene of an accident with injuries or death. This will be a much bigger charge now of leaving the scene. If anytime anybody has a bump, call the police immediately. Make sure that that person is cared for. 18 years old. Could spend a lot of time in jail over a mistake like that. As we look here, and I'm not familiar with this town. I'd never heard it in the state of Mississippi. Tachula. Anybody ever heard of that? An 18-year-old was killed in Tachula, Mississippi. An investigation is underway. They have no idea who did it yet, but just to show you where that is on a map, that's due north of Jackson. That's a new town to me in the state of Mississippi as we pull this up. Here's Jackson. You go due north of there toward the Mississippi Delta. Northwest of Kosciuszko is where that murder happened. Right there, west of Lexington. 18-year-old murdered here in the state of Mississippi. It's good to learn areas that we're not familiar with. We also look, robberies happen every day. We go to the Columbus area. It was Columbus, Mississippi, where a robbery happened. A guy robbed a store. His weapon was a little bit different. Of course, the clerk was not aware. They thought it was a real weapon, but took a Coke bottle and wrapped it inside a paper bag and used it as a gun. In the end, his charge won't be as much because it actually wasn't a weapon, but still he's been arrested for the robbery. Also, he'll face charges on that. Not all carry that in bags. Sometimes it's the real thing, as we have found out. We saw yesterday, I know that you've seen the gentleman for years upon years. We've had one here in the Meridian area forever, Cowboy Maloney's. As we found out, Eddie Maloney, 71, the president of the company, passed away. I think it was unexpected there. President of the company, we pass along condolences to his family. Cowboy Maloney's Electric City. His daddy, I think, started a company back in the 50s there. So somebody that you've seen on television commercials most of our lives. That's south of Greenwood, Levi says there. Pretty rough area sometimes there. Good morning, Galen Bradshaw. Glad to see you watching there. Barbara Smith, glad to see you're up. Tupelo man has been sentenced to 16 years in prison. Why? Selling meth. This doesn't work. A 40-year-old named Jeremy Meredith has pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute meth and marijuana. He's headed off for a 16-year vacation. This is good news in the state of Mississippi as we go to Grenada, Mississippi. 800 jobs are on the way. We do wish they were a little bit closer to the Meridian area, but we're glad that they're in the state of Mississippi. It helps us as a whole. Milwaukee Tools is building a plant there, and it will employ 800 people. That's good news for the state of Mississippi. Hopefully we'll be able to get more. We do need things like that. As we look to, and I know a lot of people make these trips to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Everybody loves shrimp. They love fresh shrimp. Well, shrimp trees, that was a tongue twister, wasn't it? Shrimp season, let me slow down and say that right, will open on May the 25th. That will be next week. So if you're into that, you want to get some of the freshest, those shrimp boats will be pulling in. You'll be able to buy them off the dock there as it opens up again. That's the 25th. Today's the 20th. 5 days away from that happening. Not far off. As we look to this, Dog the Bounty Hunter, I think a lot of us have watched his shows through the years as he's tracked down bad guys. Some people are probably not going to agree with what Dog had to say. Although he probably has a lot of truth to it, there's groups that are going to go, I don't want that. Dog says that every gun owner in America should have a health card that says that you're mentally capable of owning a gun. You'll have those that say, well, this is against my rights to own a gun, and they can change it if I make somebody mad. They call somebody and they evaluate me to be, well, not capable of owning a gun. Dog took a stand. We'll see if there's feedback on this and or a, what do they call it, blowback? We'll watch this. Dog speaking up there. This is different. And it started in Louisiana and now has gone to Virginia, to where a group of dads had enough. In Virginia, as schools do get out of hand with crime from time to time, and they don't have enough police officers or money to cover schools, they've started something called Dads on Duty. And what they do, and then again, this kind of started in Louisiana. They got in touch with them, and fathers or dads take turns at the school throughout the day. They have shifts to where they provide extra security for the school. This happened in Virginia because a young lady was drugged into a bathroom and raped. And the parents had had enough. So they started a program called Dads on Duty. Now, the dads are not in the bathrooms, but what they do is they stand by. If there's 3 stalls in there, no more than 3 people are allowed in the bathroom at one time. They're there to greet students. They're there to make sure that they get off. Fights, crimes, all that is dramatically reduced since they started that. That's a good deed. Hopefully that will spread across America and more of this will be seen. Maybe there's areas in our neck of the woods that need something like this. Dads on patrol. Do something. Make a difference in your community. That's good. I like that. They're going after Elon Musk as we look to some of the national news this morning. Of course, we're talking Elon, who owns Tesla. He also owns the SpaceX, and now he's getting ready to own Twitter if it all works out. Most likely it will in the end, but the claims are coming now of sexual advances. Now, I find this hard to believe. I have to see it in writing and believe it from a court of law. I'm not joking about this. A lady is claiming that he offered her a horse in trade for sexual favors. No, I kid you not. Her claim is he was going to buy me a horse if I would do sexual. That's the latest there. It's a Me Too movement. That one's just kind of hard for me to believe. The richest man in the world. Let me buy you a horse. I read it. Didn't say it was true. That's an accusation. Whew. Do you own a Ford? There's a recall on these. 350,000 SUVs, including the Expedition and Lincoln Navigators, are being recalled due to fear of fire. I saw an article on it yesterday where they were asking car owners that own these specific year models to make sure they parked them outside and not to park them in their garage in case something were to happen. Hopefully they'll figure this out and be able to fix it in no time flat. We say good morning to James Sullivan, Carthage, Mississippi. Glad to have you there. Miss Linda Accord is up. Joyce Snowden Godwin. Hadn't seen you in a week or so, have I? Hope you're doing well there. Eugenia Walden, good morning. Clarence Westbrook, glad to see you there. Josh, Miss Joyce Godwin is watching. Virginia Vanderwalker. How are you, Virginia? Glad to see the cab being represented this morning. Lamar Hembry up in Kemper County as well. Lots of people from all over. Candy Luke, hadn't talked to you in so many years. I hope you're doing good. Always nice folks there. Dorothy Fleming is up as well. Laura Orflin, good to see you. We're going to take a look or a deeper look at your weather now. What's going to happen with this, the weather that is coming over the weekend? We do have rain. We're going to look at your calendar. We'll look at radar. All of that is right around the corner. Don't rush off. We'll get deep into this here in just a moment. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, The Rock House will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We'll begin this Friday. It is Friday the 20th. We're 73 degrees as we wait for a hot day ahead of us. 94. Whatever you do, make sure that you got plenty of water and you're prepared for what you do outside. Let's take a minute and let's flip over to Meridian Honda radar as we pull this up. State of Mississippi right now looks good. There's no rain. We do have an inkling of fog showing up here. This is going to be around McGee, due west of McGee down here. Right there is where we've got it there, west of Mize. That's going to be Bogan, Mississippi, if you live in that area. A little fog today. As we go up to the northwest corner in the Mississippi Delta, Clarksdale getting this wind advisory here as we look at this. A little bit there until 7 p.m. tonight, so be there. And this will go up through Collierville, Tennessee, these areas around Jonesboro, Arkansas, Union City, on up here into Harrisburg. These areas here, wind advisory as we look at this. A lot of wind with that. As we back out and just take a glimpse across the United States, been some rain down around Fort Myers in the Florida area. Lots of fog there in southern Georgia. We get up here, we also got a lot of rain here in Ohio. If you're going to be around Columbus and you drop off that big bridge as you go into Columbus, Ohio, be careful where that road splits. It's wet. It can cause an accident there. Rain also there in Wheeling, West Virginia. A little bit of rain in New York as well as we cut across as we go to the top of the nation. And we come up here through Minnesota, some rain showers today. This will cover most of the northern part of the United States. Light showers, nothing serious. We've been watching all of this area right in here. Last night we did have a lot of tornadic activity here, right along in there in Illinois. It was some serious weather. Saw a lot of damage with that. And out here, been a snowstorm, and expect a lot of this today and tomorrow as we go into these parts of Denver, Boulder, Colorado, with a lot of snow moving in. Hard to imagine snow when it's 94 degrees here, isn't it? Very hard to. But we are going to get some rain. And let's get a little bit deeper into your forecast so you'll know exactly what happens this weekend to plan your weekend and the best way to do it.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
That record high was set back in 1962 on this date. It was a record high, 97. Our low, well, it's been 20 years. Can you believe that? 2002, it was a record low set on this day of 40. 2002, 20 years ago? Whew. As we look to the forecast today, sunshine 94 in Meridian, and it'll pretty much stay the same as we go through downtown Philadelphia. We make our way on up 15, and we go into through Noxapater and make it all the way to Mississippi State, still 94. Out to our west, Vicksburg, looking for 93 today. As we go to the south, it's going to be, 92 in Hattiesburg. Let's cut across to Alabama and see what our friends are doing there. Tuscaloosa, 92 today. Demopolis as well, and it'll be gorgeous as well. We should get about 92 there at Livingston University as well. As we look over to Auburn, 91 on the eastern side of the state there. As we look for our next 6 to 10 days, what's going to be going on? We're still above average with our temperatures, but we've got warmer weather brewing and headed our way. If you'll see this back in California, which will make its way on into Texas, so there's absolutely not going to be a break of this hot weather whatsoever. It's coming. Now let's look at our 7-day forecast as we pull this up. Here we go over the weekend of what to expect, and 94 today, 0% chance of rain. We start seeing that rain chance move in on Saturday as we look for a clear sky tonight, 70, but we'll have gusty winds today and tonight. By tomorrow, 40% chance of showers here for the day, and this moves in the afternoon. About 1:30, expect some showers to maybe start happening. It will decrease to a 20% chance on Saturday night. Most likely after 1 a.m. with a low around 69 is what we've got. Rain, it's coming in. This will, again, if you've got something to do on Saturday, make sure on Sunday, make sure to get that done, because when church is out, right around 1:30, we've got showers moving in at 90% chance. That's a bump there. High of about 86 to 87 on Sunday afternoon. We'll get down to 66 on Sunday night and still hovering at a 70% chance of showers there. Now, as we go into Monday, what do we got? More rain is what it looks like. 60% chance of showers are a high of 82. And that extended forecast, we've got rain every day. Look at this. 50% Tuesday, Wednesday, and down to a 30% chance as we make it to Thursday. Now, let's move ahead and look into another week and see what we've got as we look at some cooler weather there for a day or so. As we pull this up and we look at Friday the 27th, 83 degrees. I'll almost feel like March for a moment. By the 29th, we're back into the 90s, and we stay into the 90s all the way through June the 3rd with the official kickoff right here of hurricane season coming in there on the 1st of June. So be prepared for that. Let's talk about, as we talk about hurricane season, we pulled the map back up to take a look. Absolutely nothing as we scan this from the National Hurricane Center this morning. Nothing has been predicted, so we're good right now. We'll look to our fishing calendar. You want to go fishing today? We bring it to you by Chet's Paint and Body, and you can head out. One of the first major times is this morning, going on now through about 7:15. By this afternoon, you'll get another chance there about 6 o'clock all the way to dark 30. So if you're getting out, now remember the winds are going to be 5 to 15, and the gusts will go to about 20 miles an hour if you're going to be wetting a hook this afternoon. Catch a line, y'all know how that works. That's a rundown of what we've got this morning. As we said, no major crimes. There was one report of gunfire that I got. Doesn't mean there wasn't something somewhere else, but that's all I was told about in the overnight hours as we begin today. Let's hope today is going to be a great day. Decrease in crime, all that good stuff. And a big thank you to Billy Solly coming in yesterday morning and talking with us about what goes on in our community. I do appreciate that. We're going to have more. We're going to have some judges come in and talk with us. We'll see if I can't get the DA to come in as well. What happens after the police put the handcuffs? They're carted off to jail. A lot of us just don't know. We'll see what we can find out as we follow that through the court systems of what happens and whose hands are tied, what laws are out there. This is a very important time. And at some point, I will get into this, and I will gently put this out there this morning. Watch your tempers. This is not a time to be ugly or rude in public. And again, I'm going to type something up about this, but all I want to say right now is do not cuss people. If something happens, do not jump out of your car if you're in a wreck or you're at a counter and somebody does something you like that you don't like. Do not be rude. Don't be ugly. This is not a time in our towns. What am I trying to say? I've worded this out. Don't be rude. Don't be ugly. This is a time where criminals or people that are standing around will go extreme with situations. Mind your own business, and don't cause scenes. There's other people that don't abide by laws. Let me word it that way. And they can do things. I want you to be extremely careful with that. And again, I'll find out exactly. I'm going to sit down and write this out the best way to put that. But use your manners. If there's an altercation, always call police. Do it that way. Do it the right way. Nothing wrong with protecting yourself, but do not be ugly for any reason because it can cause other problems. I'll get more into that as the days progress on this. Maybe get that out today of a best way to word that. But what I'm saying is just watch your tongue. Don't be rude. Don't be ugly. Other people don't always abide by the same laws that you do, is the best way I'm putting that. So be safe, Meridian. No matter where you are, if you're watching from an adjoining county, maybe you're watching from another state. That goes anywhere you go. Just be careful out there. We'll be back soon. We're kicking off another show beginning at 8 this morning. We want you to be a part of it. Your comments are so welcome. We do appreciate that. That's what makes the show. And as always, share it. As someone says, there's Ralph there, if you'll look at his comment there. Be careful, and we'll be back. Thank you so much for being a part of this and making this such a huge success. We'll see you soon, beginning at 8. We'll go live back here at Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all those, and be live on television as well at MeTV 24.3 or 248 on Comcast. Either way you want to join us, we want you to be a part of it.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: